Hey guys, welcome back to another spine-chilling installment of Horror Fridays for the Nerdery. Hey, it's Full Moon Patty again for this week's show. I have a few different things for you. I believe I've stuck to the horror genre this week, so go me. First off, we have Sacred Creatures. It's a big old book. It's not just like a single issue. I was really excited because I like a little bit more of my book. This one caught my eye because there's a Victorian family on it with corpses laying all around them, and I thought that would be right in my wheelhouse. The only word of warning about this book is that it time hops. It all takes place within, say, a couple of weeks, but you don't go from Monday to Friday. You go back and forth a few times. So that can be a little bit confusing if you're not really paying attention or you miss something, so you have to go back and forth a little bit. Basically, a mysterious, dark, immortal family is having a meeting because a plan was set into motion. And you don't know what that is through pretty much the entire book. They are... At this point, it goes back to a different time, or forward to a different time, where you see a possible murderer coming out and the cops trying to detain him and things like that. That comes up later. This family is messing with the gentleman, Josh. His name is Josh, and seeing if they can get him to do this mission, whatever it is that they want. And they have this weird sort of magic power where they'll touch him or speak to him, and it's like a magic suggestion. And then he becomes under their spell. It's kind of interesting with that. In the scene where you first meet Josh, but not, he is standing outside and all of a sudden a priest falls off the hotel roof and he should be dead. He's crushed a car and all of a sudden he gets up and he's fine. So you wonder what his deal is. There's a creepy boy in the family, which kids are creepy, period. There's giant hairless cat monsters. It's really action-packed. It's a great book. It's just... The only thing I couldn't get over, and it's the only reason I didn't give it a 5 out of 5, is the time hopping. That one threw me off a little bit. But overall, it's a really great book. There's tons of book to it, so you won't get bored immediately, and you're not dying for the next one, but I can't wait for the next one, because this ending ends on a cliffhanger. And so I'm really excited about this book. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 full moons. Solid book, and that was that one complaint, and that was it. The second thing I have for you is almost horror. It is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. It is based off the novel by Stieg Larsson. This one was done by Titan Comics and Hard Case Crime. The writer's Sylvian Runberg, and art by Holmes, H-O-M-S. And that's it. Just one word, like Prince. I mentioned that for sure because I absolutely love the artwork in this book. It was very almost caricature style. Like, it's very exaggerated with their characteristics and stuff, but still amazing, but not cartoony. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I did not read the original book. I am absolutely head over heels in love with the foreign version of the story. But the American version, for me, fell really short, and I was thoroughly disappointed with it. So, basically the plot, if you haven't heard anything about this, just in case, a disgraced journalist, Mikkel Blomquist, while waiting sentencing for basically poor journalism, a rich gentleman was very upset with him for slander, basically, and he's going to go to jail, basically, for this, because he was framed. Blomquist gets hired by another rich family as a family biographer, but what he's actually there for is the head of the family 40 years ago lost his niece. His niece disappeared. No one knows what happened. They don't know if she's dead. They never found a body. They've never found her run away. They don't know. And he absolutely loved this little girl So he's hired Mikkel to solve the mystery after all these years. Lisbeth Salander is the main character, the girl, and she is a private investigator, but a little bit more on the shady side. She's a hacker. She does everything like that. But she was hired to do some research on Mikkel. So that's how she gets tied up in this, and she continues on with her investigation and everything. Really solid. I was surprised to see a few scenes I hadn't expected. It kind of makes me want to go back and maybe possibly read the novel and fight through it, because once it gets going, it might get better. There's lots of scenes in here that are a little graphic, definitely not for children. It is an adult book. There is sex, violence, murder, rape, all of that stuff. So definitely not kid-friendly. There's lots of twists and turns, and it's a thrilling story, absolutely. It's like, from the beginning, it always has been. It's just a matter of how it's done. Basically, I love the artwork. It was a little bit more like a exaggerated characteristics of the characters. Their faces are almost caricature style, but not cartoony. So it was still serious enough. Like, it didn't take away from that. But I absolutely loved it. I will for sure be picking up issue 2. For sure. I gave this 5 out of 5, and that doesn't happen often. I say definitely go check it out if you like this type of story. It is grown-up type of story, though, not for kids. There is rape, there's violence, there's murder, just plain sex. It's just not for kids, but for sure a great book. Last off for you guys, I have The Void I watched this week. It came out in 2016. Basically, the plot of this movie is a cop drops off a hurt man that he found coming out of the woods, all mangled and stuff, but he's alive. He brought him to a local hospital, and it's a hospital that's had an accident where I believe there was a fire. So it's running on minimal staff, minimal occupancy, and so it's kind of a quiet, creepy hospital at night. All of a sudden, after he brings them there are a few other patients there and stuff. It's a small town. Everybody knows each other. You find out after a little while, when another cop shows up, that this gentleman might be part of a mass murder. And so they're really concerned with getting him contained and everything like that. He was found with blood all over him, and in a house in the town, there was found to be all sorts of dead bodies and crazy mutilations and everything. So they're basically thinking he did it. It's really weird, the supernatural stuff going on, and so everyone in the hospital gets scared, of course. There's a monster that shows up, and so they go to try to leave, to get away, to get help or whatnot. And they find this possible cult, all covered in robes, and they have daggers, and you learn that they're not trying to not trying to fight their way in to attack these people. They're actually trying to keep the people in and keep them contained. So that's kind of a twist of normally in kind of those type of movies, they're trying to get in and attack and kill them. You learn that it has everything to do with this doctor that works at the hospital, that daughter was killed. And it's him, he's a big part of what's going on. He knows what's going on. Overall, it was a good movie, not spectacular. It wasn't something that I could highly recommend, unfortunately. It's interesting. It was okay. I could not give it more than 3 out of 5 full moons. I did enjoy towards, like, at the end, they're opening up a gate to a different realm or existence or whatever. That was kind of cool. The special effects were pretty good. But other than that, it kind of fell a little bit flat. So, as always, we are brought to you by Captain Jack's Elixirs at www.captainjackselixirs.com. We are also brought to you by All Star Comics, Baytown, Texas. Phone number 281-839-7127. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe to our channel down there. There's a button. Also, don't let the party stop there. Go check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Go follow us, like our photos, get engaged, see what's going on with us during the week, not just in our videos, because we post lots of fun stuff with that. And thanks for watching.